Hey there. Okay, parents, you made it day 5 in our temper challenge. Awesome. I'm so glad you were here. I hope you learned several things that will help reduce the struggles and frustrations in everyday life with your kids. Today, the last thing that we are going to talk about, and super important, is just grace and compassion, and really honoring yourself and giving yourself grace and compassion. And I'm going to talk about 4 different things. The first thing is just truth, just the truth that God created us imperfectly. He created you imperfectly. He created your spouse imperfectly. Your kids, of course, are imperfect. And when they are growing and have so many different changes happening in their body, their imperfections change sometimes by the minute. So we have to have so much grace and compassion. And the only way we can do that is if we invite the Lord to bring His grace, to help us, to teach us. One of the phrases I say all the time when I'm struggling, which I've had a hard week this week, is, Lord, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to teach me in this difficult situation? For me, it was a lot of technical computer stuff. What are you trying to teach me in regard to this child? What do you want me to know? Like, I want to know it. I want to get it. I want to be close to you. So help me. So just, yes, know that it's going to be imperfect. And then you can go a little easier on yourself. But until we reach heaven, there's no perfect parent. You are never going to reach that upper level of knowing it all, of supporting your kids perfectly. Again, it's just not, that's not what God means when He tells us to be perfect like Him. Perfect actually means to be whole. So it means whole, complete, to have all the virtues that He wants us to have based on, again, who He created us to be. And I don't know that unless I invite Him in and ask Him to help me get there, to grow in virtue. So that's our first truth. The second thing is I apologize. If I show up in a poor way to my kids, I apologize to them and ask forgiveness. So 2 and 3, apologize and ask forgiveness. Remember that you are modeling for your kids how to do life. They learn from what you say, but they're not going to do as much what you say as what you do. So those actions, those behaviors, that loud voice, the tone of voice, all of these things your kids are taking in. And so if I screw up, if I lose my temper, if I do all the things, and parents, I do all the things you do. I think what I do differently is because of my experience and education and training, knowing why the human body does it. I can more quickly and more easily let myself off the hook. Like, this is just a natural human instinct that I would behave this way and show up in a poor way to my kids. Or because I have such an in-depth understanding of the sensory system and how that impacts how I show up, how my kids show up, I can cut myself slack. Again, if I show up with a really short temper, I can quickly say to myself, oh yes, but I just came from that volleyball tournament and all that noise and all that input and stimulation completely overloaded my system. And I really even haven't had 10 minutes to reset or get my nervous system back to like an A-OK calm state. So of course I showed up in a way that I didn't want to. And so, again, it's awareness. And then I have to go apologize to my kids and say, please forgive me. Like, that is not how I wanted to react to that situation. And so, again, we are modeling how to apologize, what that looks like, how to own our actions and be responsible for our behavior, which is so incredibly healthy for young kids to see. Okay, mom had to apologize. Mom messed up. Mom owned it. And she got forgiveness. And all is well again. But I have to do it first. My kids have to see me doing it and living it to know, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do too. And again, if you just found me, if you just landed here today, I am all about that long game of raising a child from birth to adulthood, but then I want them to be set up to have incredibly healthy, positive relationships with everybody in their environment. And apology and forgiveness, every person needs in regard to friendships, with a coworker, with a teammate, just vital skills. And if you will practice it with your kids in your everyday interaction, it is so, so good for them. You also have to practice it with yourself. Like, I have to forgive myself when I show up in a bad way and say, you know what, just here's what happened. I know my sensory system was blown after that volleyball tournament. I know why I did it. I've asked for forgiveness, and I'm just going to let that go. And then I have to let it go. I can't keep beating myself up about it, which I think women are the worst about. There's some, like that perfect woman who lives in our head, who's always going, yeah, you got forgiveness, but still, that was pretty bad. Should have done this, should have said that, should have done this. And no, we need to let it go. Okay? So the other thing, fourth thing, support. Ask for support. Another thing for women, our natural tendency is we don't really want to ask for support. There's some, again, maybe it's that perfect woman in our head who's like, you can do it yourself. Just do it yourself. You can figure this out. You can do it. I am so guilty of this. I want to be independent. I'm like, it's easier. I'll do it faster. I'll do it better. All these things. No, ask for support. So support for you in whatever situation, in whatever, your week looks like, your evening looks like. If you've got a time crunch logistically with multiple kids going different places, or you've got a special event that you need to be at, or you need whatever you need, it's okay to ask for support from your spouse. I have so many parents who are like, yes, my husband, he wouldn't help me with that. No, he's working too much. I don't have any support from that. Usually when we dig a little deeper into that, or if I hold the mom accountable for asking her spouse about this, the husband 99% of the time says yes. Almost every man I know wants to provide for his wife and for her happiness. Now, there's a few ways we can ask. There's a few words we can say to make him possibly more agreeable to it. But by and large, every single husband I know wants to support his wife, so she is able to show up healthy and happy in a really good way. So if you think that your husband wouldn't support you, I challenge you to one time next week, ask him for help in some way, shape, or form. And when you ask, say, could you please do such and such? This is what it would provide for me. Because we know men are providers. We know they are wired to solve problems. So here's my problem. This is what you helping would provide for me. And usually husbands are like, yeah, I got it. So do that and let me know how it goes. Okay. Support from community and friends. You have got to have a tribe, your people, your women, your tennis team, your girls, your homies, whatever you call them. You have got to have the minimum one, and I don't think very many really close friends, but you have to have at least one who is in your world, close proximity, who knows all the stuff with your kids, all the stuff with your work, all the stuff with your extended family, all of it. Because you need to have somebody that if you really are in a bind, if you are in an emergency, if there's an injury at school or something and you need support, that this person is like, yep, all you have to do is say 911 and they will be there. And I have a lot of parents who will say, okay, yes, my in-laws live 3 blocks away. That's fantastic. But moms, I want you to have a non-family member, because sometimes there's dynamics with family that don't allow you to really ask for what you need. And so sometimes that friend who is not biologically, by blood connected to you is going to be the one who can really provide support for you and also provide freedom to be who you need to be and how you need to be it, so you can just stay in integrity and honor yourself with it. So have a community, have at least one friend. And women, we are relational beings. So we like to relate a lot of different ways to a lot of different people. So it also looks like support in not just your spouse and not just 1 or 2 close friends, but other areas. So maybe it is your tennis team. Maybe it's your workout crew. Maybe it's moms in a PTA, a committee that you are volunteering for. Just you feel supported with more support. So connect with women multiple times a week to get the support that you need. You can talk about ideas. Okay, this is my dilemma for this weekend. You'll get extra ideas. You'll get people who can bring food or bring toys. You can get people who are like, oh, well, I've just had this high schooler who's helping me. Maybe they could help you Friday night by Drive a Kid. So you don't have to do it alone at all. You can ask for support from somebody like me. And I have driving high schoolers, but I also have lots of strategies to, again, give you support for the challenges, the frustrations, all of the just minutia that it takes to be parenting and to have a family that has lots of different imperfect people who are doing lots of different things. And that's the right way to do it, because God created all of us uniquely. So we're all going to have different preferences and different ideas and different ways to do it. And that's okay. One of the phrases I say a lot is that just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. So support your family. If it's a different idea than you, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's different. And for me, a lot of times when it's different, it's not wrong. It's just difficult for me to show up or to follow along. So if one of my kids has an idea that's different than mine, that happens every day, multiple times a day. I'll be thinking, okay, if we did it this way, cooking could be, laundry with one of my kids seems to be where we're different. And, I've just decided, okay, let's try it your way. Chances are it might be better, it might be not. But I realized that I can be pretty set in my ways, and that when there's a new idea presented to me, maybe it's God's way of saying, hey, this is what I'm trying to teach you today, is that you could do laundry differently. And okay, I'll try to be open to that. So it's appreciating the differences, being open, being honest to yourself about your weaknesses, about your limitations, accepting, help, grace, and just all the resources to support yourself in regard to our faith. And so that, I would say, would be the last thing. And, super important is how do you need to get that strength from the Lord to parent the next day? If you've had a hard day and your next day looks exactly like today was, how are you going to change that? How can you set yourself up better for success? Because again, when you can figure it out beforehand and strategize and navigate and say, okay, what's going on today? What's that going to look like? Ask the Lord to give you help to figure it out, to know how to navigate it. And He will. Okay, here is one of my favorite Bible verses. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. And it is 1 Samuel 16:7. So there are so many ways that moms especially, we are, it's the outward appearance. Does everything look okay? Is my kitchen clean? Is my house picked up? Are my kids wearing, a clean school outfit? Is the bow in the hair on the right side with the thing? It's all the things. But really all those things that we worry about and stress about, and that we keep beating ourselves up about, those aren't the things that matter to God. He's not looking at the bow in the hair and the little boy who's walking out the door with his shirt tucked in. I don't think the Lord cares about that at all. He's looking on our heart. So I just encourage you to, try to look at it from His perspective, because I think it will allow you to show more grace and compassion to yourself, which we all need. Okay. Thank you so much for joining this whole week. I hope you have learned numerous things that are valuable and helpful to you. I want to share with you now the link to my monthly membership. So again, ways to have more access to me are through a monthly membership where we do a group coaching call once a week. There are ways to reach me in a private Facebook group. You can leave me a message, you can leave me a video, whatever to ask if you are in a bind. My current members do this a lot. If they have something that they're like, I don't know what to do about that with one of my kids, they will absolutely message me super quickly. A lot of times I reply on a video. It is so quick and you can get immediate relief. Again, my mission, parenting is easier for you. And so if I can help you get immediate relief for a problem or an issue or a concern, that is absolutely what I want to do. Also, the membership is full of lots of resources in regard from my occupational therapy background. I just put on the membership a new game called Thumbs Up. So there's a 15-minute video on how you can build skills that every single kid needs for school, for life at home, for playing baseball, for, making your first communion, like building block skills. Like you can't get through those young ages of 3 through 8 without these vital 6 skills. And those 6 skills, I'm going to show you and tell you how to play them. The game for September is Thumbs Up. So when you play Thumbs Up, you're going to know before you play it that all of these skills are covered when you spend 15 minutes with your kid. And so that's a way I can help you. Like you don't have to stand at Walmart and look at the toy section and think, okay, what should I get? What should I do with it? No, I've already told you, you're going to know that your child is building great skills with this game. Also have lots of other resources to help you with. So $49, go join today. I would love to have you here in September. The other thing that is fantastic about my membership is that we learn from each other. We share ideas. And so you might have really young kids that aren't even potty training yet. But because you're in this group where we're talking about potty training, in fact, I just posted a potty training chart to help one of the moms who has made some progress with potty training, but now we're backtracking a little bit. And so again, something helpful. She hadn't tried it. She hadn't seen anything like this. And so she was able to get quick, immediate relief helping her child potty train from just, a resource that I had and knew, and it had worked well in the past with others. So that's another reason that where I am different is there are so many parents who you will see on social media who are telling you about their parenting experiences, which is fantastic. And they might have several kids. I don't know that they have worked with hundreds of kids. And so that is the experience that I bring, is that literally I don't know a single subject that somebody can bring to me that I haven't dealt with somewhere else in a different child, a different family. And so I can share that with you. And again, that makes your parenting effective and efficient. You don't have to Google and scroll all night long to look for a solution. You're going to shoot me a message or leave me a quick video and say, this, I need something. And then I'm going to reply back within usually a few hours. So come join. I would love to have you, and have a great weekend.